Many people try to pick up League of Legends and almost immediately quit with no intention of trying again. When starting League of Legends, there are many key things that are needed to make your gameplay experience enjoyable, which can be very overwhelming. These things include game modes, champion selection, builds, objectives, and mechanics. By briefly going through these things, you too can learn how to have fun with the game. The first thing to look at is the different game modes that are offered to players. There's player versus player, and a co-op versus AI mode. Co-op versus AI should be the main game type that you play to learn the basics. There are 3 game modes that are available at all times to play against others or against the AI. Classic, Dominion, and ARAM are always available. Classic mode is split between a 3v3 and 5v5 format. 5v5 is the most popular game mode. The 3v3 game format is much less popular, and I wouldn't recommend spending time learning it. Dominion is the least popular game mode. ARAM is a game mode that aims towards just having fun. I recommend playing this when you don't want to focus too hard or when you don't have as much time to play. Normal 5v5 matches can end up taking upwards of 30 minutes, with ARAM matches being much quicker. The next thing to focus on would be champion selection. This should be important to anyone as a player, as it will be the main part of your experience. There are 3 main things to look at when talking about champions. The type of champion is the first thing to consider. The different types include assassin, fighter, mage, support, tank, and marksman. The best thing to do would be trying out each role and seeing which one fits you best. These different types will determine their role and where your champion will be during a match. The 5 roles are attack damage carry, support, mid lane, top lane, and jungler. Marksmen are always the attack damage carry, or ADC for short. Support plays in the bottom lane with the ADC. Mid lane is typically covered by an assassin. Top lane is usually played by a tank or a fighter. Junglers are usually assassins or tanks, but you should not worry about that role early on. The League of Legends main website has a list of all champions and what their playstyles are, which can be a useful tool for finding out who you might like to play. You could also look up character builds and guides online, but these are usually catered to veteran players. The best way to learn is just by trying out a character for a couple of games. Before going into a match and after selecting your character, you also pick your summoner spells. Most of these will be locked until you level up more. The first few spells you should take are Ghost, which gives you a speed boost to help you escape bad situations, the heal ability to help keep your champion healthy. Some useful spells later are Flash, Ignite, and Teleport. Once in-game, it's important to look at basic controls and functions. You can use the left click for things like using the shop and checking the health of monsters, champions, and objectives. You can also left click on the minimap in order to see what is going on in that area. You also use it for aiming and casting abilities. Right-clicking controls your movement and attacking enemies and objectives. It's also important to know the different camera options available. Unlocking the screen will let you freely move the camera around the map. If you hold the spacebar while the screen is unlocked, the camera will stay centered on you. You can also leave the screen locked to always have the camera centered on you. Turning off auto-targeting in the game settings is recommended. This can cause you to get stuck attacking something and get you into worse situations. After getting basic functions down, it's important that you are building your champion properly. The items you buy in one match does not carry over to the next. Each match starts with your champion at level 1. Your player level and champion level are 2 different things. Your player level will unlock new summer spells and mastery points the more you play League of Legends. Your champion level is the level of your character during a match. Last but not least, knowing the objective for whichever mode you're playing is key. In the classic 5v5 mode, you're trying to push at least one of 3 lanes to the enemy base to destroy their nexus. The nexus serves as their main core. There are a series of structures you'll have to take down to be able to reach the base. Try to get as much gold as you can from killing minions and enemy champions while you push forward. It can be pretty overwhelming at first, but stick to it and you might see why so many people love the game. We hope that this guide gives you a quick start for getting into League of Legends. Hope to see you out in the rift.